There is nothing more important on this earth than your relationship with God. Let me say that again. There is nothing more important in this earth than your relationship with God. More important. It's more important than where you live. More important than what you drive. More important than the balance of your bank account. More important than what they call you at work. More important than your hobbies and your habits. And we allow pretty much everything I just said to sometimes come between us and our relationship with Him, and nothing ever should. One of the most important questions that you can ask and answer as an individual is, do I have religion or do I have relationship? Am I in a religion or am I in a relationship? Can I tell you that man, not God, gave us religion? Religion does not have the ability or the power to satisfy your soul. Religion will never satisfy the soul of a man or a woman. Religion is hard. Relationship is easy. Religion is man-made. Relationship is God-ordained. Religion is stagnant. Relationship is transformational. Religion is lifeless, but relationship is life-giving. Religion is powerless, but relationship is powerful. Religion is disappointment, but relationship brings hope. Religion is cold and hard, but relationship is warm and intimate. It's very important that every child of God know, while you're thinking about your relationship with God, do I have relationship with God or do I have religion? Am I just a member of a church and that's really all that matters to me? I've just been part of this church for so long. Or do you really know Jesus Christ? I want to tell you, it's important for you to know that Jesus did not die to give us religion. He died so you and I could have a genuine, a real, a life-changing relationship with Him. And it is through His death that we have that clear path to relationship. God robed Himself in flesh. He walked this earth as a mere man. He suffered and died on a cruel cross. He rose from the dead on the third day, all for one reason, that you and I could have a relationship with Him. It's also important that we know that we were created by Him and we were created for Him. There's a lot of people in the church today that they look like the rest of the church, but they think like the world. We need to understand something here today. You were created by Him and you were created for Him. You were created to worship Him. You were created to live for Him. You were created to be faithful to Him. You were created to walk with Him. You were created to know Him. You were created for relationship. When we don't love Him, we're never going to latch hold of real happiness. When we don't serve Him, we're going to be unhappy. When we're not walking with Him, we're going to be unhappy, because you weren't created to walk with the world. You weren't created to serve the flesh. You weren't created to love sin and love the world and love worldliness. There's no happiness in that for a child of God. You were created to have a relationship with God Himself. You were created to know Him. Knowing Him should be our life's goal. Knowing Him should be our greatest desire. Knowing Him should be the thing we strive for most. And anything that ever comes between us and knowing Him ought to be moved out of the way. It ought to be set aside. Just as much or more than we desire to have a relationship with God, I want you to know that God desires to have a relationship with us. From the time God walked with Adam and Eve in the cool of the day, His desire was to walk with mankind, to have a relationship with them, for them to know Him and Him to know them. And even though Adam and Eve failed God, hear me when I tell you that God's desire to walk with mankind has never abated. It's never changed. He's never stopped wanting to have a relationship with humanity. So passionate was His desire after Adam and Eve sinned that He worked intensely throughout time to bring humanity back to a place of intimacy with Him. God worked at it. He worked at it. He worked at having communion with His creation. He could have washed His hands. He could have wrote us off. He could have said, humanity has failed me again and again and again and again and millions of times over. But with all the failings of humanity, we still serve a God that's never give up on us. He's never give up on communion with us, intimacy with us, relationship with us. Jesus said in John 10 and 27, my sheep hear my voice, and I know them, and they follow me. Boy, three powerful things, only 2 or 3 words each, but my Lord, powerful. Number one, He said, my sheep hear my voice. My sheep hear my voice. Second, He said, I know them. Do you know God? Does He know you? Do you have a relationship with Him? And third of all, He said, and they follow me. Somebody needs to hear me today. The acid test of relationship is they follow me.